Hello everyone, hope you guys doing well. Today we are in the Customer Experience Center in Lahore. Now, here's our local partner and he will take you to learn our product more details about our hardware inverter.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Rafiq and I am working as a Chief Technical Officer at Runergy. So today I will tell you more about hybrid inverters, that what kind of ranges we are offering for this local market. If you talk about the single phase application, we have two ranges of inverter. One is H1 AC1 that starts from 3 kilowatt and ranges up to 4.6 kilowatt. The unit that you can see here is 4.6 kilowatt inverter. It is equipped with two number of MPPTs and the maximum possible current for this MPPT is 13.5 ampere. If you talk about the short circuit rating of this MPPT is 15 ampere. And we do have one battery connection point on this inverter. And as you can see here, we have two kind of batteries. One is EP5 and other one is EP11. The EP5 can supply 5.18 kilowatt hour of the storage and EP11 can supply 10.36 kilowatt hour of storage. If you talk about the batteries, the EP5 can supply 5.18 kilowatt hour of storage, can give 6,000 cycles at 90% BOD. Means you can set the minimum SOC of these batteries to 10, and you can also, if you want to discharge these batteries in the presence of grid, then you can set the minimum SOC to your desired value. As I said that in this series we have 3 kilowatt, then we have 4.6 kilowatt and also we have 6 kilowatt. Right now we do have 4.6 kilowatt in our stock as we are supplying this unit and considering the demand from the market. And other series of inverters that we have for the single phase application is our KH series, which starts from 7 kilowatt. Then we have 8 kilowatt in this series, then 10.5 kilowatt in this series. If you talk about 7 kilowatt and 8 kilowatt specifically, these inverters are equipped with 3 number of MPPTs and they do have one battery connection port. And if you talk about 10.5, it has 4 number of MPPTs. If you talk about the rating of the MPPT of these inverters, it is rated at 16 ampere maximum possible current and the short circuit current of each MPPT is like 20 amperes. They do have, as I said, that they do have one battery connection port similar to the H1 AC1 series. And if you want to have the multiple batteries, so you have to use our parallel box for the connection of the batteries. On one connection port, you can use 4 number of batteries. Either you are using EP5 or EP11. Let's suppose you are going to use EP5, then you are going to have around 20 plus kilowatt hour of the storage. And if you are going to use EP11, that is 10.36 kilowatt hour, then you are going to have around more than 41 kilowatt hour of storage. Now we have for the 3-phase applications, we have our H3 Pro series, which starts from 10 kilowatt and ranges up to 30 kilowatt. We have 10 kilowatt, then we have 15 kilowatt, then we have 20 kilowatt, then 25, and then 30 kilowatt inverter. At our user experience center, we have installed this 20 kilowatt inverter, which has 3 number of MPPTs, and each MPPT is equipped with 2 number of inputs. So in total, it can support 6 number of strings that you can terminate. If you have panels installed at different orientation, you have 3 MPPTs, then you can have the different configuration per MPPT. As I said, these inverters do have 2 ports for the battery connection. Like for K series, which has one battery connection port, you are going to use 4 batteries in maximum in parallel. So having 2 battery connection ports will allow you to have more backup for your customer depending on the need of your customer. So with this inverter, you can have 8 number of batteries at max. As this inverter has 2 battery connection ports, now you can use 2 kind of batteries also. Let's suppose you want to use like EP5 and EP11 together. You can terminate EP5 on one battery connection port. You have to make sure that EP11 is terminated on the other battery port. Let's suppose your customer wants to have 15 kilowatt or 25 kilowatt hour of the backup. Then for the 15 kilowatt hour, what you have to do is that you have to terminate EP11 on battery connection 1 and EP5 on battery connection 2. If you talk about the specification of this 20 kilowatt H3 Pro, as I said that it has 3 number of MPPTs and each MPPT has 2 number of inputs. So the current rating of this inverter is 32 ampere, like IMP maximum possible current, and the short circuit current is 40 ampere. If you talk about the voltage range of this inverter, the startup voltage is like 160 volt and ranges up to 850 volt. If you talk about the battery voltage range for this specific inverter, the battery voltage range is like starts from 150 volt and ranges up to 800 volt. The battery voltage of our EP5 series is 192 volt and it has 60 number of cells. And if you talk about EP11, the battery voltage range is 384 volt, having 120 number of cells. The voltage of each cell is around 3.2 volts. If you talk about the maximum charge and discharge current of this inverter, it's 50 ampere. As I said that this inverter has two number of battery ports, so it can support 50 amperes per battery connection port. If you talk about the maximum output that they can provide in the EPS mode, this inverter, as I said, this is 20 kilowatt H3 Pro. It can support 24 kilowatt load in the EPS mode for the 60 seconds. If you talk about the noise level of these inverters, for this specific model, the noise level is less than 45 decibels, and the cooling mechanism is smart fan cooling for this 20 kilowatt H3 Pro. So now we have H3 Pro 10 kilowatt. I will tell you more about this product. So as I said earlier, that in 10 kilowatt H3 Pro we have 3 number of MPPTs and each MPPT has one input. So now this MPPT can support 16 amperes maximum possible current and the short circuit current is 20 ampere. As you can see here, this inverter comes with one battery connection port. So you can either install EP5 or EP11. You cannot install EP5 and EP11 together because the voltage for EP5 is 192 volt and for the EP11 is 384 volt. So you have to choose at the start once you are going to finalize the solution for your house. So you have to decide at that particular time, either you have to go for EP5 series of batteries or EP11. If you want to go with EP5, then you are going to have 4 batteries in parallel. So you are going to achieve a backup of around 20 kilowatt hour. And for if you are going to have at the start, you are going to install EP11, that is 10.36 kilowatt hour. Later on, you want to add, you want to increase your backup storage. So you have to go for another battery of EP11. You are not going to have EP5 along with EP11. So in total, you are going to have 4 batteries of EP11. So you are going to get a backup of around 41 point something kilowatt hour. If you talk about the maximum output power of this inverter in case of EPS output mode, let's suppose grid is not there and inverter is working in a backup mode, and there will be a surge power at the start when you are turning on your equipment. So this inverter can support around 12 kilowatt for the continuously for 60 seconds. So the interesting part of this H3 Pro series is that as these are used for the 3-phase applications, so they do support the unbalanced load. If you are having an unbalanced load, like you have a load of 1 kilowatt on phase 1 and 2 kilowatt on phase 2 and 3 kilowatt on phase 3, and the inverter is working in an on-grid mode, it will directly supply 1 kilowatt on phase 1, it will give 2 kilowatt on phase 2, and it will give 3 kilowatt as per your load. The information the system is getting from the meter, which are also included in the package of the inverter, that once you are going to get the inverter, we are supplying 3-phase meters along with the inverters. Now, people do ask about the parallel connection of the inverters. Our all single-phase inverters and also the 3-phase inverter, they do support the parallel operation of the inverters. For example, if you want to have, if you want to install 15 kilowatt Pro along with another 15 kilowatt Pro to enhance the total power of your system, so what you have to do is that you have to install these 2 inverters in parallel. For that, you are going to need our EMS box, which supports the parallel connection of our H3 Pro series. Likewise, for our single-phase inverters like H1, AC1 and K series, they do support the parallel connection of the inverters. In that case, you are not going to use the EMS box, they just directly support the parallel connection of the inverters. Thank you.